Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spiritual Sky, and lovely to have you with us today. And the whole purpose here, of course, is for us to completely relax and come into ourselves and just this place inside that we know ourselves to be as a spiritual being. So we begin by just kind of creating the energetic, for want of a better word, the energy around us, the environment, to be as clean and as pure as possible so that we can take this time to go inside. And we just ask for the highest and purest light from the highest and purest source to surround and fill each one of us and the space that we're in for the highest good. We let that holiness infuse our being. That holy light, that Holy Spirit. And already, as we allow that to take place, we can feel an energetic difference around us and inside of us. So just within a few seconds, we can shift the vibration simply through dialing it in, much like we would a radio station. The light that is already present and is always present is something that we have to dial ourselves into to match that frequency. We can be in a frequency of upset, anger, judgment. All of those vibrations, those frequencies are available to us at any time. But so is the light. So is this highest and purest light from the highest and purest source available to us too. And all we have to do is to call ourselves forward into it and then allow it to come through us. And we're going to be doing more of that in today's meditative practice. On last Thursday, if you attended the Thursday meditation, I do something every other Thursday called the Anahata Nad, the inner sound. The Anahata actually means unstruck sound, and but we call it the sound current of God, this inner sound. And the practice we do there is spiritual exercises, which is a very dynamic and specific practice. But here, we're a little bit more passive in our meditative practice here. So it's more of a passive practice we're going to be doing. So it's really being with ourselves as embodied beings rather than the spiritual exercises, which is more withdrawing ourselves from the body and putting ourselves in our spiritual centers. So again, welcome to everyone who's with us. And I want to start with, as I usually do, with just two very brief excerpts from John Roger, the founder of the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness. I always play these for two reasons. Number one, to honor my spiritual teacher, John Roger, or just to show my respect for all he's given me personally and all he's shared with us as spiritual teaching. I also do it because of the energy that it brings in to our practice here, and also do it because what he's saying is absolutely amazing and profound. And if we can just grasp onto it, it's absolutely, I can say without a doubt that it will change our lives. Just grasping onto really truth of what he's saying, if it's something we can apply, then I think we're going to be well on our way into an enlightened state. So here's John Roger.
The divine presence is exactly that thing that is present everywhere. And I could take you to a radical point of view and tell you that there really is no soul. There really is only this presence that is omnipotent, omnipresent at all times. But we talk about the soul as that individualized energy to give you a sense of well-being so that you can wave your dilemma away as you rise up in consciousness to find out you are what you have always been, and you are the one you've been looking for. If you're not pleasing yourself by being who you are, I got some sad news for you. That's tough, because that's all there is. If you haven't found that place yet inside of you that is full and brilliant, that's tough, because that's all there is. But when you get there, that's enough, because that's all there is. That's all there is for everybody on all the levels of consciousness. The bright, brilliant radiance of our beingness.
Just allow yourself to take in the bright, brilliant radiance of your beingness. So, we're this bright, brilliant radiance, but what prevents us from really recognizing that on a moment-to-moment basis? And probably lots of things. I could go into a dozen things about that. But the one we're going to look at today is, to me, underlying a lot of things is tension. And we're going to find a way perhaps to release some tension today. And it's so interesting because if we're carrying worry or concern about a lot of things, that will have a mental tension to it. And we try to resolve mental problems, for want of a better word, with the mind. And that immediately creates up a tense experience. So it's not that we really want to kind of solve problems with the mind, although, that can be useful in many cases. It can be. We can have therapy and all kinds of things. But if we're trying to work things out, usually it doesn't release the underlying tension. So how would we do that? And it's the same with kind of physical tension when you think about it. If we have a physical tension on my shoulders, of course I can move it around and I can stretch it around, but it doesn't really release the tension. So we have this kind of connection between the body and the mind, or the mind and the body. Because if I have worry and concern, let's just call it worry. I mean, I could take any one of a million emotions, right? Let's just say worry or anxiety, worry or anxiousness. If I have that, that's going to be communicated through the energy system of the body into my body itself, into the tissues of my body. So we can look at things as having three components: our mind, our body, and our energy. It's kind of a convenient way of framework of looking at things. And so how does the mind, the worry and anxiety, get communicated into the tissues of the body? Through energy. You could talk, again, there's a lot of things that can be communicated through. Hormones, chemical markers, nervous system being primarily, our fascial system, cerebral spinal fluid systems, our limbs. I mean, there's lots of ways it gets communicated. Some of it kind of physical, but really energetically. When I say energetic, I'm talking about the communication system. How does it get into our tissues? Now, in a similar way, if I've got poor posture, I'm slumped like this, it kind of sends another message to my mind, my brain, if you wish, and saying, things are not well. And so that gets again communicated through the energy system. And what's important about this is that the energy system is neutral. It's impersonal. It's between this mind-body dialogue. So if we go to the body to get rid of tension, it usually doesn't work. And even stretching, sometimes we're still creating tension to release tension. So I'm not saying we shouldn't stretch or move our bodies, absolutely. But there's a good reason why a lot of times things don't clear in our bodies, even though we'll do yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or any number of somatic practices, because we're not getting to the root of it, because somehow it's still being communicated through the mind that there's tension there, and that's lodged in the tissues. And similarly, we're in a looping pattern in our brain or in our mind. Now, the mind and the brain are very different, but just, I think, stay with me on this, hopefully making a little bit of sense here. You know, if you've got worry and anxiety, it's going to reflect itself in the body. Your postural tension in the body is going to reflect itself in your mind as in the brain. Now, the brain is there. Let me distinguish it now. The brain is like, this is your brain. That does not move. The mind, however, moves. Mind can be many, many places. It can be around us, outside of us, inside of us, all through the whole body. A lot of times we stick the mind in the brain. So, a little bit of a verbal explanation here for what we're going to do. So, what we're going to do is use this neutrality of the energy system to actually release tension. We're going to go through the energy system because why? It doesn't care. Energy doesn't care. It just moves where we're directing it, where we're signaling it to move to. It's very, very cooperative. It's like, okay, worry, you want worry in your tissues? There you go. I sent it to your tissues. You don't want worry in your tissues? Okay. So it's just very, very neutral about it. So I want you to kind of close your eyes and just bring your attention to the rising and the falling of your breath. And just see where there's any tension in your body. And as much as possible, we want the mind to leave the head area and start to absorb itself into the body. And as the mind absorbs itself into the body, it kind of soaks in, there does become a transformation. You can just feel it go down. We can just go through the mouth area, the jaw. It slowly passes into the neck. And each moment, just feel it soaking in like water would soak into a sponge. And then into the shoulders. So perhaps if you've had any neck issues or shoulder issues, you'll probably feel that interaction be more intense. Then down through your body to your chest, upper back, your heart, liver, spleen areas, your diaphragm, and lower belly. A lot of tension gets absorbed into the lower belly, a lot of digestive situations that go on there. Very, very big energetic center. Down into your pelvis, reproductive regions, and thighs, knees, calves, ankles, and into the ground. And if you prefer, we can go back the other way from the feet, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hips, reproductive area, up through the digestive area, front and the body, the back of the body, the diaphragm, liver, heart, spleen, pancreas, upper chest, shoulders, neck, jaw. And just take a note of yourself where you are at this point. Doing that, I think you'll find already creates a different feeling in your bodies and in your mind for that matter. For a few moments, perhaps you left the world behind. And you're just interacting with your own inner world. Perhaps you see colors. And just assume that whatever color you're seeing is exactly the color you need at this time for healing and for balance. I'd also like you to take note of your breathing, your natural breathing, the rising and the falling of your breath without any interfering on your part. If you were paying attention at the beginning, when we started, probably at this point as well, you'll feel your breath almost deeper. By deeper, maybe more in your belly. And perhaps it's slowed down a little bit. Usually, not in every case, don't worry, this is not true for you, but most of the time when the mind or awareness or consciousness interacts with the body, the tissues of the body, the organs, fascia, nervous system, there's almost like an opening, is a release. I'm going to take this a little further and I'm going to have you raise your hands a little bit. You may need to open your eyes a little bit just to see my hands. Nothing special about them, but just need you to have a little bit of a visual. Your hands are just out straight. There's no tension in them at all, not like this or like this, just straight, just open. And I want you to just begin to feel the skin and the palms of your hands. Now, just to let you know that if at any point your arms get tired, it's perfectly okay just to rest them back on your lap or wherever you want to rest them, on the table in my case. And then just pick them up again. What I don't want you to have is any tension in your shoulders or that you're lifting anything. Your hands are just naturally just up, relaxed. I want you to particularly pay attention to the palms of your hand, because I want you to open the palm of your hand much like you would open a suction cup. And as you open that suction cup, your fingers stretch out just gently. Notice I'm not doing anything crazy like this, or extreme, not crazy, but extreme. We're just gently, enough just to feel the fingers opening a little bit. You can have your hands like this or like this, doesn't matter. Just elevate it a little bit in front of you. Elbows don't have to be too tight in, they don't have to be like this. Just whatever is comfortable, just a little bit extended so that you're not closed here. You want to be just a little bit open here, so that this is open, so there's a nice kind of flow going on all the way through to the fingertips. And that as you breathe in, you're going to relax the hand just a little bit. Just a little bit. That this is going to suck in, this suction cup is going to suck in just a little bit. So as you breathe in, you let that relax. And as you breathe out, you just open Again, not the fingers. You don't move from the fingers. You're focusing from the palms. So you'll start feeling probably a little bit of energy in your palms at this point if you just open up the palms and the fingers. So you breathe in. Or, even breathing in is too strong an instruction. Maybe just receive the breath. Receive the breath in. Relaxes a little bit. Now breathe out. Open it up. And again, at any time, just bring your hands down. The only thing I ask you is just continue breathing. So you don't have to strain to keep your arms up at all. Just continue this breath. When you're ready, you can bring your arms up again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Receive the breath. Let go of the breath. So now, as you breathe in, find a word for yourself that really, you can tell I'm just relaxing my arms from time to time, just no strain whatsoever. As soon as I feel like I need any effort to raise my arms, I just drop them. It's not a big deal here, but do keep focus on the breath. I want you to find a word that works for you in terms of relaxation. So you can just say, as I receive the breath, or as I breathe in, I breathe in tranquility. I breathe in tranquility. Or you could say, I breathe in calm. Perhaps your word is peace. I breathe in peace. I breathe in love. But it needs to be something that, not so much that it sounds good, because, I breathe in love, right, that sounds really good. But it's something that really resonates in terms of your release of tension. So I breathe in calm. Or you could say I breathe in relaxation. Just find that word and just see, try it on for size for a few breaths. Remember, just release the palm a little bit as you breathe in. Breathe in tranquility. I breathe out. I breathe in calm. I want to stay with one word. I'm just experimenting. Does calm do it for me? Tranquility. Sounds pretty nice, actually, tranquility. Serenity would be another word. Breathe in serenity. Once you got that clear, now I breathe out. And remember, my palms are opening a little bit and the energy is moving out. I breathe out tension. I breathe in tranquility. I breathe out tension. Now, you don't have to say those out loud. I have to because I'm demonstrating this. But it could just be you breathe in and you just say it mentally. And as you breathe out, you say it mentally. Now, as you do this, probably going to feel quite a bit of energy in your hands and in your fingers. And you may feel a little bit of release coming out of your body through your arms and through your fingertips or your palms. And this is the beginning of the release of tension from your body and from your mind. Notice that there is no mental processing here. We're not figuring out why there's tension or why there's disturbance. no whys, no even identification of what it is. And similarly with the body, we're not figuring out what is going on with the body. We're just, through the energy system, allowing the tension in our body and our mind to leave, to be released. Release is a very good word because the tension is almost like an imprisonment. It's bound energy, imprisoned energy, stuck energy. And what we're doing here is releasing it. We're getting it out of prison. We're breathing in tranquility, we're breathing out tension. At any point, you can just put your hands down, continue with your natural breathing, listening into your body, seeing how that feels. And when you're ready, your hands can go up again. And then listening into your hands, what's going on there. And so you can have your hands up again if you put them down. Again, what we don't want to do is create any additional tension in our shoulders by trying to hold up our arms. We want to have a little bit of openness. And again, just breathe in tranquility. It's the example I'm using, whatever word you have. And breathe out tension. Let those fingers extend a little bit. That's important. From the palm of the hand opening up. Be aware of the skin around your hands. Breathe in tranquility. Breathe out tension. Now you may feel warmth going through your arms. You may feel kind of a prick, a pain, not like a terrible pain that would mean some kind of injury, but just a little discomfort, let's say. Just let it go. Sometimes you'll feel a movement, like something is kind of just coming through your arms and releasing out. Sometimes it may even feel like a piece of ice. It can be cold. Just let it come out, release. Away from you into the light for the highest good. And so now as we breathe in tranquility, we also breathe in light. And again, we attune to the light here for the highest good. This highest and purest light from the highest and purest source. Breathe in tranquility and light. Breathe out tension. Again, the breathing in, just very slight, subtle movement. The palm of your hand just relaxes and then expands as you breathe out. Again, just feel free to put your hands down. And just continue with the breath, breathing in. Tranquility, breathing in light. Breathing out tension. This light can come in through the top of your head and fill the body. And then exit through the hands, through the fingers. You may see colors. You may see a pure white light or clear light come in through the top of your head, fill the body, and then exit. A little darker color perhaps as the tension just releases. And of course, eventually, the light coming in will be the same color of the light going out. Or you may see different colors, greens, purples, golden color, blues, reds. Whatever color you see is the right one for you. Now the breath, the light can come in through your heart center as well. So you may feel the light coming through your heart center. Again, radiating through, filling your whole body with light. And then as you breathe out tension. Breathe in tranquility. Breathe out tension. This time, this pulsation has a quality of tranquility. Of course, what we're releasing is the tension. But it also is a pulsation of light through your body. And this light is flushing out the tensions. Again, you're not thinking about the source of the tension or why it's there. Just as we ask for the light for the highest good, we ask that any tension we no longer need be released so that we can be open and relaxed. We're releasing tension from its bound state into a free energy state. Tension is bound in our minds and in our bodies. It creates this kind of looping pattern. And so what we're doing is interrupting this looping pattern and making an exit for this energetic loop. Placing the light throughout our whole bodies in the process. Again, as you can see, if you had your eyes open, I'm just relaxing when my arms feel the slightest bit tired. I'm not going to create any strain or additional tension. But while I have my arms down, I'm going to continue with my natural breathing, being aware that my breath is actually a lot deeper, a lot more relaxed. Continue to breathe as you listen. In this new feeling of relaxation and release, or you can, whenever you feel like it, raise your hands up again in the way we've been practicing. Breathe in tranquility. Breathe out tension. And this can be used at any time in your life. You find yourself being preoccupied, thoughts circling, or some chronic tension in your body somewhere. Don't have to try and figure out what's what, or work it out in your mind, or work it out in your body. What we're doing is working it out in the most neutral place of all, our energy. Breathe in tranquility. Breathe out tension. And you can allow the breath to breathe out, and it's almost, you can almost feel the breath going out of your arms away from you into the environment, where we just asked it to be absorbed and cleared. It goes back into energy, of course. And breathe in that tranquility or love or peace or calm, serenity, whatever word really resonated for you. And breathe out. And that breath carries with it through your hands and fingertips. If it helps, you can just open up your elbow joint just a teeny bit, just to make sure that that energy is just passing through your arms and out. And when you put your hands down, if they get a little tired, continue the practice, but just let your mind be fully absorbed now into your body. It's out of your head, it's all through your whole body. Your whole body is your mind, consciousness. And just get the sense of how that feels inside of you. Allow yourself to have an inner smile. Just one smile that's on the inside of your lips. Feel that openness. And that clarity. And if anything comes in, a thought again, oh my goodness, I've got to do this or do that, remember that's going to immediately be carried by your energy field into your tissues of your body. So we want to disrupt that loop in a neutral way. The energy doesn't care. Just breathe in tranquility, love, and with it, of course, the light. And breathe out tension. Let that light carry and the breath carry all that tension away from you. So if something upsetting happens in your life, something shocks you, just allow yourself to go this way. You're not avoiding it. You're just immediately just interrupting this loop. You can acknowledge what's happened and now just go into breathing in tranquility or serenity, breathing out tension. And you feel that loop is immediately disrupted as you practice this. Maybe you don't get this the first time. Just worth trying and experimenting with. And as that loop is disruptive, then there's no more tension, no more looping thoughts, kind of a sense of peace. Hopefully you're feeling that as you come back into the room. You can stretch out your hands and feet, toes, wiggle your toes. Take in a deeper breath. We'll see you all next week. Thank you so much for joining, and God bless you all. Take care.